You get a free podcast at audioboom.com is what you get.
Again, I'm with you. I am. I feel your pain. But for callers 1, 2, and 3
that are already there.
Yes.
How about we just don't talk while Ben answers the phone? We'll just sit here so he doesn't miss anything.
I'll tell you what. I will.
It's going to be dreadful.
Listen to me. I've got some things I need to take care of, and then you can participate in the fun. And if I get done in
so
time.
dime dog night?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Plus 10 dimes is for Tuesday's game.
Yes, you're going to give them 2 tickets to the Whitecaps, and then the ability to get 10 hot dogs because they priced them. Why don't they just make them free? Why don't they just throw them out? I mean, seriously, a dime?
Oh, Eric, that wouldn't be a promotion then, would it?
Fat people. So, the first 3 at 800 785-1073 gets those tickets. The story of Hudsonville couple Anuj and Leslie Chopra. I'll get to that in a second. They're alleged to be serious creepers. Their lawyer says they're not. They say they're not. We'll talk about that in a second. We had another person sign up for the Field of Dreams softball game between Team Zane and Team Huge coming up in late July. Go to WBBL.com and sign up. Andrea, sexy voice Andrea, signed up. She said she used to play softball and she's worried about not being able to hit a fast-pitched ball. And I said, as far as I know, there has never been a lady playing this game.
No, there has.
There has?
Oh, yeah.
Excellent.
One time Huge had a second baseman.
Okay.
And she was probably their best player.
Okay.
Everyone else sucked so bad. But the girl was like, on second base, she looked like Ian Kinsler.
Okay, good.
It was insane.
Well, Andrea wants to play. She signed up, and you can too. Go to WBBL.com and sign up for the Field of Dreams softball game. And you could be on Team Zane or Team Huge. I would love listeners of this show. You want to be on Team Zane, of course, because we want to beat Huge's team.
Unless you want to go on a Huge's team and sabotage.
Ooh, good call. Just strike it. Yeah, hold the bat upside down.
Yes.
Or come up to bat with like a table leg like Norm Cash.
Like stick ball.
Sure. Boot every ball, throw it into the stands.
Yes, all errors.
You'll be playing on my team. I will be playing, making an ass of myself. Bill actually pretty good on his team. I think they'll have an advantage, but you're taking on people who used to pitch for a living. So that's going to be a lot of fun for the Field of Dreams baseball game.
Well, speaking of Whitecaps, I guess we kind of are. Jacob Robson, our buddy, he got called up. He's no longer with the Whitecaps.
That was expected. Good for him.
Good for him, yeah. They called up 5 players, I think it was.
Yeah.
So they moved up, so we don't get to see Jacob Robson anymore.
No. And he is probably going to go to Lakeland, I would guess.
He's going to Lakeland, yes.
They have, it's crazy in baseball. You go from A-ball to A-ball.
Yes.
And that's a big step up. High A, as they call it, Lakeland. And then I don't know if they just go from sometimes high A to the majors or double A, triple A, and then
Typically, double A, and then maybe you make the jump, but typically you do the full progression.
Yeah.
Unless you're really good, then you just...
Yeah, I from Windsor, Ontario, has been on the show with us and just hit the cover off the ball.
Right. Pride of Canada.
Mm-hmm.
You know, after Wayne Gretzky and
That's right.
and all those other guys.
Also, if you want, please sign up for the Coney Dog Eating Contest with Grand Coney coming up a week from today, I believe. Right? No. 2 weeks from today. Or no, 2 weeks in a day. 2 weeks from Saturday, right?
Yes.
My God.
The 8th, correct?
What a moron. July 8th, we'll be at the Michigan location of Grand Coney for the Coney Dog Eating Contest. We only have a handful of people on our team. Pellerita was 1, and there's 2 others who've signed up. We need 8. So go to WBBL.com and sign up. All right.
I think we stalled long enough for Ben to have
Yeah,
fun.
he's just finishing up.
Good for him.
Just finishing up.
Look at that.
So, this story out of Hudsonville. There are 42-year-olds who married Anuj and Leslie Chopra.
We talked about this one first half, didn't we?
We did. They've been ordered to stand trial on allegations that they tried to entice their daughter's teen friends for sex. The judge ordered them bound over for trial in Ottawa County after their probable cause hearings regarding various sex crimes concluded earlier this week. Anuj, the dude, is charged with human trafficking after a witness testimony alleges that he offered to pay two 16-year-old boys, which are friends of the daughter, $1,000 if he could shoot video of them having sex.
Two boys together?
I don't know. It just says offered to pay two 16-year-old boys $1,000 to film them having sex. The wife, Leslie, is accused of sending obscene materials to minors and using a computer to commit a crime after allegedly sending sexually explicit messages and photos to one of the boys over Snapchat. Their defense attorney, Damien Nunzio, says the charges should be dismissed. And the reason why Nunzio is saying that the charges should be dismissed are saying that because Anuj was simply joking. Hey, just kidding, guy. Yeah. Joke. I can tell you that of all the times that the young people, friends of my kids, have been over, never once have I said anything more than wind the chicken, cross the road, get to the other side. Knock, knock. Who's there? Aren't you glad I said banana? You know, I mean, never once have I even remotely gone down the road of, hey, I got a good one. Hey, listen to this. Why don't you two have sex for $1,000 and I'll video it? Huh? Get it? You'd have sex and I'd video you and then I'd give you $1,000? You get it? Isn't that hilarious? Oh my God, get it?
It's not funny if I